What is encounter therapy? So I want to do a short video series, maybe 3 videos on encounter therapy. In this first one, I just want to talk about what it is. Essentially, encounter therapy is a form of group psychotherapy. It can be done in groups of as small as 4 up to 10 or 12. Irvin Yalom spoke and wrote a lot about encounter therapy. He's kind of the godfather of group psychotherapy, very highly respected, particularly in America, and wrote a lot of textbooks on group psychotherapy. It was kind of founded in the 60s and was popular in the 70s and 80s, encounter therapy, and has gone out of fashion a lot since then. But I still think it has some uses in particular contexts, and I'll speak a bit about that. But essentially, the basic premise behind encounter therapy is that every time we interact with a human being, that's an encounter. That's where it gets its name from. An encounter can be positive or negative or neutral. But a lot of forms of counter therapy and why it became popular were focused around... Jeez, I just swallowed a fly. Focused around encountering people and telling them what you could see that was creating misery in their lives or not working for them, or a negative pattern that you could see playing out that maybe they couldn't see or they haven't done anything about, even if they're aware of it. And the idea behind that is a lot of the time in life, in polite society, we'll avoid these topics. We won't say anything to people if we see something about them that might be worth changing. We'll tend to stay silent or avoid them, or maybe even say the exact opposite of what we actually think. Like, no, you're fine, you're great, don't worry about it. And encounter therapy is more about telling the truth to people, more about telling them what you can see that they should change, in your opinion. And so it can be really confronting, but it also can be really effective if it's done skillfully and in the right way with the right intention. So that's what it is in a nutshell. There's obviously a lot more to it than that, but just presenting the basics. And I'll talk in the next video about my personal experience with encounter therapy, what I've found good about it, what I've found not so good about it. I just slipped over. I'm having a great time with this video, swallowing flies and losing my footing. It's all fun and games. So in the next video, I'll talk about my personal experience, what's good about it, what's not so good. And then in the last video, I'll talk a bit about the overlap between encounter and Gestalt, and how the two of them have a little bit of overlap and similarity and how they can work together. So hopefully I'll see you in the next couple of videos.